Welcome back to another exciting study. Can you tell me which is the most fought over piece of land in the whole world? Now you can see behind me the globe, and you can see Africa and Asia a little bit and Europe, and the piece of land that joins those three continents together is where Israel is situated. It's like a land bridge. And on that land bridge is Jerusalem. And Jerusalem is where God placed his name. And he did that through a number of things in the Old Testament. He let it be known that Jerusalem, and especially Mount Moriah. Now, Mount Moriah is where God tested Abraham in Genesis 22. And he told him to take Isaac. You can read that account. I'm not going there really, it's too long. But you can read the account of how, after waiting years and years and years for his promised son Isaac, then God said, okay, now he's a teenager, go and sacrifice him. Take him up the mountain, which I'll show you, which was Mount Moriah. We call that mountain now the Temple Mount. And that's the most fought over piece of ground in the whole of Israel, the whole of Jerusalem, and the whole of the world. It's constantly been disputed. Who owns it? Who can do what there? Who can have their religious freedom there, etc. So Mount Moriah is where we're talking about. That's where Jesus was crucified, nearby there. And so that piece of land is very, very precious to the Jews, to Christians, and to Muslims. All the three faiths, three major faiths of the world, hold Mount Moriah as a sacred place, a place of pilgrimage, a place to visit at least once in a lifetime. Now, what is the purpose of me mentioning that? Because we're studying blood moons, and the most recent blood moon, Tetrad, was in 2014 and 2015. Here I go hiding behind my piece of paper again, get it level. And you can see that there was a tetrad in that time span, 2014, 2015. It fell on, which one did it fall on? Those ones are not mentioned here, which particular feast it fell on, but there was a tetrad. So that's what I can say. And that tetrad in 2014, 2015, why is that of any importance? We've seen that in 48, 49, that was the establishment of the nation, a holy nation. They got the land back. They got the holy land. Israel is called the Holy Land. And the Holy Land was got back. 67, another tetrad. That's the holy city. Now, what's this one got to do with it? What's 2014, 2015? Now, I listen to prophets, and the prophets that I tend to hook myself onto are Jimmy Evans and Mark Biltz. And Mark Biltz has written a book called Blood Moons, which I advise you to look at if you're interested in further study. And Pastor John Hagee in America also contributed to that book, The Blood Moons. Now, that particular site, Mount Moriah, the Temple Mount, has been in the hands of Muslims because they built their mosque on it. Now, what's the name of that mosque? It's an Al-Aqsa, A-Q-S-A, I can't say it. That mosque is there, and as soon as you see a picture of Jerusalem, first thing you see is this big golden dome. So the Muslims have got their mosque on the Temple Mount. But we know that in the last days, when the Antichrist sets up his kingdom, halfway through the tribulation, which could be very close, as I've explained in previous videos, there is the desolation of the temple by some idol being put in there and some desecration of that holy place. So to desecrate a holy place, it's got to be there in the first place. So that means that the temple has to be built. And since 2014, 2015, the amount of activity by the Jews on the Temple Mount has been enormous. But if the mosque is there, what can they do? They've been planning all the instruments and the altars and even the red heifer bulls and so on. They've got everything ready for sacrifices to start, but they can't start because the mosque is in the way. Now, Saudi Arabia has got holy sites, and the holy sites are in Medina and Mecca. I had to do some research for that, in Saudi Arabia, and they had considered that the holy site on the Temple Mount was very important for Muslims, and they built this great big mosque there. But now the royal family and other high officials in Saudi Arabia are saying it's not really important to us. We've got Medina and we've got Mecca, and Saudi Arabia has entered into a friendship agreement with Israel, amazingly. And I think that happened under Donald Trump's reign. And so the Temple Mount to Muslims, which was considered the third most holy site for Muslims, is now considered by the Sunnis. They no longer consider it a really important site to have. So it could be that the mosque can be removed and the temple can be built. As I say, the temple cannot be desecrated until there is a temple. And these blood moons of 1415, we've had the Holy Land, the Holy City. This could be the Holy Temple. And so that's, as far as I know at the moment, listening to prophets who I admire and who I follow, the blood moons of 14 and 15, the Tetrad, was announcing the start of the rebuilding of the Holy Temple in Jerusalem.